And welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And our talking points, we'll have a look at the game against West Ham, a little bit more detail. The 7th of August 2022, 2-0 win for City, of course. Please check the player rating show, which looks at the players' side. This just looks a bit more of the match, what happened, anything controversial, not particularly. A couple of interesting things. So we'll have a little look in talking points and see who's sort of guaranteed to start in the next game against Bournemouth, stuff like this. But it's early days. I think Pep will have a few little changes and tweaks as this season goes on and as Game 2 goes on. So anyway, let's have a quick look back. Referee, of course, was Michael Oliver. Fine. I didn't see any real problem. There might be dissect it and find things, but put it this way, what's out there at the moment is probably no worse, no better than anybody else. We'll have a look at the City team. We'll have a look at the stats, and we'll have a look at Mr. Haaland. He got my man of the match in the player ratings as well. So just how City might do without him as well. He might be limited. He won't be playing 60 games, that's for sure. So we'll have a brief chat on that. We can talk about that more as the season progresses, of course. Right, the starting 11: Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Ake, Cancelo, Rodrigo, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Foden, Haaland and Grealish. I got 8 out of 11. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Obviously, Gundo came in for Bernardo. I had Bernardo in there. Obviously, all sorts of rumours will spread from that. I've not checked the news this morning from getting in from work. So if anything's happened, you might know when I'm doing this. But as at this point in time, just be rumours. I'm no surprise that Ake was still in. I was surprised perhaps Pep did do that, but the only other exception would be perhaps bringing Stones in. So no real surprise that Ake was still in. And Grealish and Mahrez, it was really between those two guys, wasn't it? I was hoping he'd start Alvarez as well, but that was never going to happen. So yeah, Grealish, Mahrez, same old, isn't it, at the moment, really. The subs: Ortega, Moreno, of course, the keeper, Phillips, Stones, Alvarez, Bernardo, Mahrez, Palmer, Lewis, and Wilson Esbrand. And just have a look through the game itself. Yeah, I think West Ham started better, didn't they? I thought we looked a bit nervy at the back. 3 minutes gone and we were sort of a bit hurried at the back, got a few blocks in, and then Antonio had a sort of decent half chance. He headed it over. Perhaps he should be doing a little bit better with that. 4 minutes, Diaz tries to take Edders out and leaves him with a nasty black eye, I thought. And I know obviously it happened to the West Ham keeper, he ended up being sub, but at that stage I thought if that eye starts closing up, he's going to have to go off. But he takes a bit of stick, old Ederson, doesn't he? So it's good to see. Didn't particularly. I'd like to see what it's like today. I'll have to check the training shots on the Monday, the Tuesday. He might have a day off today, mightn't he, with it being in London? So they'll probably get a couple of days off anyway. But be very interested to see how that black eye carries on for poor Ederson. 14 minutes, yeah, a couple of options, but KDB sort of fires weakly. I think he could have perhaps held on a little bit and found Haaland. I think he had another option as well. But obviously, it's a bit of a feeble shot from KDB, a bit disappointing, 14 minutes. Wasn't his greatest game, but we'll talk about one little piece of magic in a bit. 20 minutes, Haaland glances a Foden cross wide. Not too bad. Never looked as though it was going to go in, but a good chance. 24 minutes. Fabianski down. I didn't think there was much in it when he went down. I thought it was wasting a bit of time, in all fairness. He seemed to glance his hip off a player, and I thought it was something and nothing, but obviously it wasn't, was it? 27 minutes, City have the ball in the net, but KDB, Haaland passed to Gundogan, who'd wandered about 2 foot offside, 3 feet offside, but that was a shame. But say 29 minutes, yeah, Fabianski give up the ghost, didn't he? And poor old Areola had to come in. Obviously would affect West Ham, that, but I think those two keepers are going to be fighting for top spot this season anyway. I think Areola and Fabianski will be having a good battle for that. But yeah, Fabianski give up the ghost and went off. 35 minutes, yeah, the penalty, and obviously not great for Areola. Would Fabianski have done the same thing? Who knows what it is, but it's Haaland who won the penalty. He brought out the error, of course, whether he could have actually got hold of the ball and put it in the net after taking it round the keeper, I'm not too sure, but it doesn't matter, does it? It was definitely a penalty. I think there's no doubt about that. From a superb ball through from Gundogan, who had, to that stage, had been playing pretty safe, I thought. He hadn't been doing anything wonderful, but that just shows you, doesn't it, in the same way KDB can produce that bit of magic. Gundogan, Gundogan can as well. I'll just call him Gundo, eh? Let's say he's messing about. I mean, how long's he been with us? I still can't get it right. Yeah, so superb penalty take. At last, we might have a penalty take. And I thought it'd gone wide until it actually rebounded to the top of the net. I thought it was that near the corner. I thought he'd put it wide of the post, but hey, we're happy about that. We've got a penalty taker, guys. Happy days. Yeah, so I think that was it, really. 48 minutes just before half time, a yellow for Cancelo. Possibly deserved it. I think he got it for doing his thing, didn't he, with his glasses to the linesman. I don't think he got it for the foul or whatever. I think it was a foul from memory, but I think he got it for his doing the old glasses thing. So yeah, a bit of it. That's the only yellow card shown actually on the day for Cancelo. So 1-0 at half time. I think generally, thoroughly deserved. I think West Ham had one or two early chances, had a couple of chances, but nothing much. Into the second half. Yeah, and this seemed to be the problem. What chances West Ham did have, they tended to be from our mistakes. And on 54 minutes, Gundogan, a poor ball, let West Ham in, unfortunately. It falls eventually to Rice, who blasts over the bar under pressure, but he could have perhaps done a little bit better with that from inside the 18-yard box. So a bit of escape for City there. 63 minutes, Ederson is forced into another save low down, just to his left, caught it. I think it might have been Ben Rama shot it, but just what Ederson's excellent at those, gathering those low shots in and keeping hold of them. You know, a lot of keepers end up just sort of palming them out, but Ederson's very good at that. 65 minutes, and yes, it's 2-0. Probably game over at that stage for City. As HAALAND, superb. I mean, he's been doing it all day. Little knock-ons, little time in his runs, etc. And KDB, finally, I say, after his radar being off for most of the game, his batteries has run out on his remote control, on his radar, on his sonar or whatever he uses. But that one ball, HAALAND showed us what a striker can do one-on-one, and he puts it in. Was Areola positioned that well? Probably not. I think Areola might have done a little bit better with his positioning. He left a lot of that right-hand side of his goal, I thought. I've not gone back and checked it since I saw it a couple of times when it happened. But Haaland's there to stick it in the net, and that's all we need. 2-0, 70 minutes, a chance for a Haaland hat-trick. But I think he perhaps could have done better. A Grealish pullback, who had a bit of an in-and-out game, but I say he seemed to be linking up well. But Haaland sort of headed it over, didn't he, on 70 minutes? I think he commented about SH1T, that he could have had a hat-trick. I think that's what he was talking about, wasn't it? 73 minutes, a fantastic save from Ederson. It was actually a Skamaka who'd come on, who David Moyes had conned me. He said he was injured, but obviously he wasn't, because he came on as a substitute. And of course, he was offside. He was about a yard offside. But Ederson didn't know that when he made a save. I thought it was an excellent save from Ederson, but he was offside anyway. 77 minutes, yeah, Grealish had an okay shot. I think I missed this. I think my little stream froze or something, but I've watched it back. He pulled a little shot wide of the near post. And then really, it was just substitutions, really. 78 minutes, Bernardo for Gundogan. Alvarez for Haaland, and then 88, 89 minutes. I mean, it takes this long now to do the subs. I'll mention that later on as well. Mahrez for Foden, Palmer for De Bruyne, Phillips for Rodri. And 91 minutes, the chance for Alvarez that I think was going over. He had his shot blocked, but he looked very lively when he came on. So check out my player rating, show a bit more detail on the players themselves. So that was after a Walker break, because Walker had been pretty quiet as well. Stats of the game: shots, West Ham 6, 1 on target, City 14, 2 on target. It's not the most prolific from City on the day. Possession-wise, 76% for City. Passes, 257 for West Ham, 831 for City. And the accuracy, for City are impressed, 92%. That's what we like to see from City. For West Ham, 77%. And for you guys of XG, expected goals, whatever it's called, at XG Philosophy, at XG Philosophy, XG for West Ham was 0.34. I'm not too sure what they said on Match of the Day. I've not watched it back yet. And for City was 1.81. That's not bad, is it? And then they go on to do one for Haaland. Haaland's XG is 1.59. And everyone else is in the Premier League, 0.56. So there you go. Will it continue? Possibly not. possibly. He's not going to score a goal every 30-odd minutes, is he? Let's be honest. It'd be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen. And, of course, my City man of the match on the player ratings was Mr. Haaland himself. I don't think anyone else could possibly have been the man of the match, could you? I mean, as I say, I think they're saying the last time someone scored 2 for City on the debut was Sergio Aguero against Swansea all them moons ago, which I featured it. Well, it might not be out yet, but I've got a Dream Debuts show about that one. But it's in the library. It might not have been published yet. I lose track of what I published and what I haven't published. So anyway, watch that when it comes out. And decisions. Yes, we've got a buoyant Bournemouth next. I think they're above us in the table on alphabetically. I think they won by 2 goals. I might be wrong. But we've got 6 games, haven't we? Got 6 games. As I said, I'll give the players at least a day's rest. Will he give them 2 days? Will they report back to training on Wednesday? Possibly for Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And in all fairness, under that sort of guise, why would he necessarily change too much with 6 days to go? There's no one who could say, yeah, he had a really poor game. He wants dragging off. I mean, obviously, people are still having goals. Perhaps Grealish wasn't at his best. I thought he played okay, nothing fantastic. Cancelo wasn't at his best. I thought it was okay, but of course, it might be part and parcel of the fact we've got a new system, haven't we? I think Pep's brought in a new system where didn't play against Liverpool because obviously the way Liverpool played, but against West Ham he brought his fullbacks more inside and the midfield more out. So he swapped it about like. His pivots are all, he changed his pivots around. So that was interesting. And obviously Cancelo had to get used to that. But I say Cancelo defensively is poor. We know he's poor anyway. And he did have a purple patch moving forward. But yeah, he does make mistakes. So yeah, I don't think defensively anyone particularly deserves to be dropped. But when's he going to play Stones? When's Stones going to get a game? Surely he needs to get some game time if he's fit, which I'm sure he is. I've not heard that he's not. So why not play Stones, put him in centre-back next to Diaz, because I'm sure Diaz will play this week, and move Aki to the left and put Cancelo on the right and get him playing and give Walker a rest. Just what I'm playing with. As I said, I don't think there's any need for Pep to make too many changes if he's quite happy with the system. The players have to get used to that system as well. Rodri, is Pep going to be brave and play Phillips against Bournemouth? Bournemouth are good, they're not a bad team. They gave us a good couple of games last season, so he's not going to take any. He's not going to take any unwanted risks. That's for sure, Pep. But I think he probably won't play Phillips, but he's going to have to start put Phillips in at some stage. Is he going to leave Gundo there, or is he going to bring Bernardo in again? Again, I don't think we lose anything. A lot of people credit him with Gundo saying Bernardo couldn't do such and such a thing, but I think that works both ways as well. And I think that Gundo was more, as I say, those through balls, but Bernardo's not usually in that position to play those through balls. Pep's been playing him quite deep, so it's all right. You can't really compare because they're not really been playing the same sort of role. And of course, up front, Haaland and Foden are shoo-ins. But are they shoo-ins? I mean, would you swap Mahrez for Grealish and take, say to Grealish, all right, it wasn't your greatest effort, take him off. But the thing is with Haaland, what worries me is he's not going to play more than 30, 35 games. He's going to pick up injuries. He was a bit injury prone last season. He's got to be looked after, and I've said that before. I think he's not going to play all the games. And City, Pep has to get City in a system of playing when Haaland's not there. It's great when he's there and he does it and he knows. But, and obviously Alvarez can't play a similar role. Alvarez is more a wing, more a false nine, I would have thought. So, yeah, perhaps City need against Bournemouth, if, God forbid, Haaland doesn't play and he'll play a slightly different system again because we're going to have to get used to it because Haaland's not going to do 60 games for us, which is how many we're playing this season. It's nowhere near, so he's got to do that. Well, that's it, really. There's a few little tweaks and changes. Obviously, in the preview show for the Bournemouth game, I'll do my starting 11, try and look at what Pep's been saying, see if we can deduce what he's up to, etc. for this week. But yeah, that's my little thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts, guys, on the players. As I said, I don't think anyone with a particular bad game needs to kick up the arse. I don't think so. Say Cancelo and Grealish are probably the weaker two on the pitch for me. Walker was quiet as well. But to actually say kick up the bum is a bit just kick up the arse a bit harsh. I think I thought they all played very well within the system. As I said, it was Pep's new system as well. So to sum up, yeah, a tricky opener. It was a tricky opener, handled very, very well. I was going for 2-1 and 3-1. 2-0 do. Nice to keep a clean sheet. And West Ham, as I said, the real chances they had mainly came from City errors. And I think a 92 pass accuracy was good, although West Ham weren't as disruptive as, apart from the first 5 or 10 minutes, they didn't sort of get on top and try and really close City down that much. It looked a bit weak, and I think that couple of knocks early on to a couple of players and the fact they lost Fabianski, etc., sort of affected them just a little bit. And the players need to settle down. So let's say Skamaka, whatever he's called, came on, but obviously things like that, they need to settle down. I personally don't think, I think they can match what they did last season. I think in the preview I said that I expect them to finish top half, but perhaps not as good as last season. I've not seen anything to change that based on the game yesterday. And our squad, yeah, well, it's fit and plenty of options for Pep. He's got to try and keep them all happy. Obviously, we know, I can touch wood as much as I want, but I know we're going to start picking up injuries, etc., etc. But say nothing really to say. Pep will be happy. On to match day 2. As I say, we'll do the preview show of the Bournemouth game and see if we can get any gist of what the starting 11 might be. And we're all right. We'll go into the Bournemouth game with the skip in our step. Yeah, so that was the 19th away game without defeat in the league. So that's not bad, is it? 116 drawn 3, I think. So since Tottenham, the first game last season, quite amazing. Quite an amazing record, that, isn't it, if you think about it. And a quick word about the 5 subs. I'm not happy about the 5 subs. I don't think it's a good idea from a footballing point of view. I think it just asks for disruption later in games. I'm not, all right, we have enough games where City are trying to hang on and we can do things to disrupt game. Pep doesn't do that anyway. Pep's not into that. But I think the 5 subs is a bit much. I'm not happy with it. I think as the season goes on, it's just going to get more annoying. I'm annoyed with it already. I don't like it. Let me know what you think, guys. I think it's a silly idea. I think 3 subs was quite adequate. People saying it helps the sort of bigger squad teams. I don't particularly agree with that because, you can just imagine teams like, Crystal Palace going to the Etihad, winning 1-0 and then obviously disrupting it and playing for time at the end. No, not just Crystal Palace. Lots of teams who do that sort of thing. It's up to City to do it, but I just think it's got to be more aggravation than it's worth, in all fairness. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, let me know what you think about the 5 subs rule. I'm not overly chuffed with it. There will be, as far as I know, a bolt from the blue. I've had a couple of personal things happen that affected what I could do, so we're open to try and do one today on Monday as I'm recording this. So there will be a bolt from the blue podcast very, very soon, hopefully. All my fault, because I said I had a couple of personal problems that just need to work round, unfortunately. And, of course, join me for the preview show and the odds show and a History Boys feature where we look back at a game against Bournemouth, this week. As I said, we're not doing the same as we did last year. We don't always look at the team we're playing at in the History Boys feature this week. But it's a game against Bournemouth, but it's the first time we ever played them. So, a bit of interest. Not that long ago, really. But it's just a look at the very first time we played Bournemouth in a competitive game. So that's this week's History Boys. Please check out my player rating shows. Let me know your comments, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. All comments very welcome. Please, until we meet again. I got a fun thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.